Hey everyone, this is Mike and welcome to my walkthrough for the Endsingers Aria Extreme. Now before you begin the fight you'll need to do two things. One, take spread positions, and two, take two group stacks. So what you want to do is you'll want to have one healer in each group and then just spread 3 and 3. The way my group did it was one tank goes with one healer, so we have 2 people in each group, and then we had the melees go with one and the ranged DPS go with the other. For spread position, you'll want all 8 people to be in a different position, so we just did cardinals and intercardinals for that. Once you have those sorted, you can begin with the fight. So the first thing that she is going to do, I'll mute the video as well, is going to be a raid-wide AoE. This one is called Unforgotten, and this one is also going to be spawning the planets that we have seen in normal mode, together with a head in the middle of the arena. Whenever there are normal planets, which means that they kind of look like this and they're not rewinded, there will also always be a head accompanying the mechanic. The head is going to be doing a half arena cleave in the direction that she is facing. So because she is facing towards southeast, we are going to need to dodge this mechanic somewhere on the northwest side of the arena. Red planets mean a very big AoE coming from the impact. Blue planets are going to be a knockback from where the planets collide with each other. Another thing to note is that the slower planet is always going to do a 45-degree turn. So our red planet on 1 is the fast one, so we are going to be going to 1 because our slow planet spawned on the opposite side of the arena, so on 3, so it's only going to go to 2. And then our northeast side here is going to be, or northwest side, sorry, is going to be safe. So as you can see, very big AoE. Then our head is doing the cleave, and our boss is doing another Unforgotten, which is going to be that raid-wide attack. An impact with the planet, you're probably not going to survive because it does very high damage, but the breath attack of the head in the middle of the arena, that one you can survive. So second head spawned, slow planet starts on 2, meaning that it will explode on 1, and this is a knockback, so we all run towards 1, and then we get knocked back into a safe position so that we do not get hit by the cleave of the head. Katasterismoi, which I probably butchered that name, is going to be spawning 4 towers, and is also going to be shackling together your tanks and healers together with the DPS. What we did for this was very simple: tanks and melees in the first 4 towers, healers and ranged in the back. We all stack up in the middle, tanks, healers run right, melees and, or well, DPS run left, and then we go into our towers. Together with this is going to be Elenchos, or Nachos as my team likes to call it, and this has 2 different forms. You either have middle safe or outside safe. If she is crying, that means that the inside is going to be safe. If her mouth is open, that means the outside is going to be safe. This mechanic will come back a couple more times, so you'll be able to see what the other one is as well. And make sure that you're also standing inside of your tower as this attack goes out, because both go out at the same time. Then we have Telos. This is going to be a raid-wide AoE. Doesn't hit as hard, so just put up some light mitigation, make sure people are topped off. And then we get Hubris. This is a double tank buster on the first and second person in aggro. So if you're tanking this fight, just make sure that you have your tank stands on, and then this should not be an issue. And of course, if you were to die, make sure that you provoke the boss as well, so that you're both first and second on aggro. Unforgotten is that raid-wide AoE again, that is going to be spawning a planet as well as a head, but this time around we'll also need those spread positions for our healers. So slow planet on 1 means it's going to explode on the southwest side of the arena, and the head is facing northwest, so we are going to be dodging it northeast. That will be our safe spot, and then both of our healers are going to be targeted with this group stack. So make sure you spread out. We always had one healer stay in the safe spot and the other group would move. That way it was the easiest way to do it. Fatalism is going to be spawning your 2 planets that are going to be rewinding. The way that you can see which planet is going to explode first is just by looking at which one is moving first, but you can also look at the rings. The planet that will explode first will have a fast moving ring, or a fast spinning ring, whereas the other planet will have a slow one. So she's going to be spawning the planets right here. We have a fast ring on the north side, so that one is exploding first. Will always be the same colored planets, so 2 reds or 2 blues. So because the fast one is in the north side, we are going to move south, or all the way to the west is also going to be safe if you want to keep melee uptime, as you can see right here. And then as soon as that explodes, make sure that you run across the arena as the other one is gonna go off. And we have another Elenchos. This time around, as you can see, her mouth is open, so the middle of the arena is going to be unsafe, so just stay to the side. Twingsong's Aphoria is going to be spawning 5 heads on the arena. We have the head in the middle that is going to do the same as it's always done, cleave one half of the arena. The head on the 4 intercardinals are going to do either donuts or point blank AoEs. So our safe spot will be in the south for the first one, so as you can see we're gonna go southwest. And as soon as the first safe spot locks in, all you need to do is walk clockwise for part 1 of the mechanic. There is a part 2 of this mechanic, but the first one is literally just identify the first safe spot and then rotate clockwise. Very easy. But once she is done with this, she is going to be rewinding what the mechanics were for the heads, and you'll need to count backwards. So as you can see right here, Theological Fatalism, this is going to rewind the mechanic depending on how many circles are around the heads. And this mechanic will come back again as well on your players. So if there is 1 circle, she will not rewind. If there are 2 circles, she'll rewind 1 position. If there are 3 circles, she'll rewind 3 times. So what you want to do first is identify where the head in the middle is gonna go. So because there are 2 circles, she is going to be rewinding once, meaning that our west side of the arena is gonna be safe. So it's gonna be either 1 or 4. Now that we know that, we need to look at our 2 safe spots. The 1-on-1 is going to rewind 3 times, but she was only safe if we rewind it once. So that is why that's not gonna be safe, but our 4 safe spot will be safe, because that one is rewinding 3 times. Remember, last save spot, rewind once. Second save spot, rewind again, beginning of the mechanic. So this is going to be where our save spot is going to be. And then we all stack up over here. And then we dodge all of the mechanics. Another Elenchos together with healer stacks. So either middle or outside will be safe, depending on what the boss is doing. And then again, have your 2 groups spread out. Another Hubris, so tank busters. Make sure you're first and second on aggro, but just keep your tank stance on and that shouldn't be an issue. Despair Unforgotten, new mechanic. This is going to be the rewind but on the players. So possible mechanics that you can get here. Very big AoEs like we get here. This will always be together on your entire team. This is also why you need spread positions so that everybody can run to their own position, that they don't get hit. You can also get a flare marker, you can get a stack marker, and you can get a donut AoE. So this is our first one. You'll also need to remember which one you get in what order, because you'll need to rewind yourself. So another Despair Unforgotten, this is going to be the second one. So here I get a flare marker. Then we're going to get another Elenchos. She's crying, so the middle of the arena will be safe. And then we're going to get a third Despair Unforgotten. The debuff that you have on your hotbar or on your buff bar, that is going to be her recording the actions. And here I get a donut AoE, and then as you can see there's also a stack marker in the middle, so make sure you just stack this up in the middle. I do want to say that we didn't really stack this in the middle correctly. The middle of the arena is a little bit further north, so just make sure that you're actually in the middle, or you might accidentally hit people that are on the outside of the arena with your donut AoEs. So here she's going to be rewinding the mechanic, and as you can see, different people get different rewinds. So I have 2, Aurora has 1, and then over here our samurai, or our ninja in this case, has 3. So do make sure that everybody knows which one it is. Now, because we're rewinding once for me, so if I had 1 ring, it would have been donut, 2 rings is flare, 3 rings would have been that big AoE. So because I have 2 rings, I have the flare, because that was the second mechanic that I got. Remember to count backwards and not in terms of which mechanic that you got. So if I would have had 1 ring, it's the mechanic that I had last. If I had 3 rings, it was the mechanic that I had first, and not like count 1, 2 or 3 from the beginning of the mechanic. You need to count backwards. Telomania. This is going to be a multi-hitting raid-wide AoE that will also apply a bleed on your party at the end of the mechanic. So make sure that everybody gets hit up, because everybody just took a lot of damage. And then also mitigate this final hit, because this bleed does hurt if it goes unmitigated. Then Endsingers Aphoria. last new real mechanic. Then the Endsinger is gonna start singing the end song. And there we go. She's going to be doing rings on the heads, and they are going to be exploding on the ones that they impact. And now the rings are going to start moving through the arena, so you'll need to see which of the heads is going to be the safe spot. And the safe spot, as you can see, can be quite tiny at times as well. And then again, just see where they are moving, and then dodge accordingly. Another Elenchos, she is breathing this time, so the outside of the arena is going to be safe. Another Telos, Raid Wide AoE, and now we have pretty much seen all of the new mechanics. There are going to be repeats of these mechanics with extra mechanics added on top, so I'll just let it play out for a little bit more and then just talk over it, but I'm not going to be pausing every single time. So Hubris, Tankbuster, make sure that you're spread away from the group. Another Elegia, Unforgotten, Raid Wide AoE, put up some mitigation. This is going to be spawning your planets as well as the head in the middle of the arena. So head is facing southwest. Slow planet will be exploding in the back on 3. So we all go towards 3, get knocked back front. We have our healer stacks, so make sure you're spread into your healer groups. Another Fatalism. Now this time around, Fatalism is going to happen twice back to back. So you'll need to make sure that you're fast on this one. So slow one is in the front, so the back one is exploding first, 2 blues. So knock back front, knocked to the back for the second one. And the second set is going to explode in the north first, because that one is fast. I'm going to die here because I'm too slow. So in this case, you want to make sure that you get knocked back in the right position. I do believe it is always going to be blue first, red second, or the other way around. I don't think it is going to be 4 reds or 4 blues. I don't think we ever had that. But I wouldn't be surprised if it is also possible. So you just got to be really fast with your dodging. After this, we have another set of towers, this time around without the chains. So just spread out in your positions, and then also look at what she is doing, because there's another Elenchos either inside or outside safe. Now, because we had a few people dead and we had tank LB3, we just tank LB this mechanic, and that made us survive it. Without tank LB, we probably would have died here. Another Telomania, so multi-hitting raid-wide AoE. Make sure that you mitigate this one, because it does hurt, and people just took damage as well. If you're gonna wipe somewhere, this is probably it. If like some people are missing from the Fatalism, then this leads to an easy wipe as well. Again, if one of your tanks died, make sure that you provoke the boss so that you're first and second in aggro. Twin Songs Aphoria, this is again the head mechanic, so you'll be able to see it the second time. This time around we're adding healer stacks to it as well. So we're starting on 2, and then we just rotate clockwise. Again, remember where your safe spots were. The second explosion, and then we'll be moving to the third explosion. Then remember that you'll have to count backwards from the final pattern, and then we'll also get our healer stacks together with Elenchos, I believe. So head is rotating once, meaning that our safe spots are going to be either 2 or 3. Now, because the one on 3 is not rewinding, that wasn't safe on the final mechanic, but 2 was safe on the final mechanic. So we are all going to be moving towards 2. And then also prepare to spread into your healer groups. And then also look at the boss, because she's doing Elenchos, she's crying, so the middle of the arena will be safe. And then spread into your healer groups as well. And we have another Hubris, so tank busters. And then I believe there is nothing new after this. So we are going to be seeing another end song, so where she is spawning all of those heads on the arena, and she has the nodes flying towards them. Because we did this fight minimum item level, the boss isn't dead yet, but if you are doing this with a bit more gear without minimum item level, the boss will probably die around here when we disabled min item level. That's where the boss usually died. So if you have a clean run, should be dead about here. But even then, I'll just let it play out a little bit longer, because there is another mechanic after this. But we've already seen that one, so no need to worry. So we find all of our safe spots. Again, look at the boss, Elenchos. She's cleaving the middle, so we just stay on the outside of the arena. Then we have another Telos, so raid ward AoE. Make sure you heal up in case somebody needs it, if they got hit by one of the AoEs on the previous mechanic. And then we have another Fatalism, so again rewinding planets, where she does it 4 times in a row. Look at which of the rings is spinning fast to know which of the explosions is going to be first as well. But we are going to be killing it right before these go off. So knockback to the back, and then our second set would have probably been red planets as well. So that is going to do it for the walkthrough of this fight. If you have any more questions about it, then feel free to leave them in the comment section down below and I'll definitely get back to you. But for now, I want to thank you for watching, I want to thank my Patreons for their support, and I'll see you in the next one.